Look at yourself. Not the version you show people. Not the version you pretend to be online. The real one. The undisciplined one. The emotional one. The one who knows exactly what needs to be done, and still doesn't do it. That is your real enemy. Ayanokoji never fights the world first. He fights himself, because once you win that battle, the world becomes predictable. Most people waste their entire life trying to control others. They want respect. They want validation. They want power. But they can't even control their own mind for 10 minutes. You say you want success, but you wake up late. You say you want discipline, but you negotiate with your laziness. You say you want to be dangerous, but your emotions control every move you make. Ayanokoji doesn't shout. He doesn't explain. He doesn't seek attention. He observes. He calculates. And then he moves. Only when the outcome is already decided. That is self-mastery. Self-mastery is not motivation. It's not hype. It's not watching videos and feeling powerful for 10 minutes. Self-mastery is doing what must be done even when your mind screams for comfort. Most people are slaves, not to society, not to money. They are slaves to their impulses. One bad emotion ruins their entire day. One distraction destroys their focus. One insult controls their behavior. Ayanokoji doesn't react. He responds, if responding is useful. If someone disrespects him, he doesn't get loud. He doesn't get emotional. He simply notes the information. Emotion gives information, but acting on emotion gives weakness. That's the difference. You don't need to kill your emotions. You need to control them. Anger can be fuel. Pain can be data. Fear can be a warning, but only if you are in control. Right now, be honest with yourself. How many decisions do you make because you feel like it? That's not freedom. That's weakness wearing a comfortable mask. Ayanokoji understands something most people never will. Discipline is not restriction. Discipline is freedom. When you wake up early every day, your day obeys you. When you train your body, your mind follows. When you control your habits, your future becomes predictable. Weak people want easy lives. Strong people want controlled lives. And control starts in silence. Ayanokoji trains in silence. No announcements. No motivation quotes. No need for applause. Because when you truly master yourself, you don't need anyone to notice. You move differently. You speak less. You watch more. You stop explaining yourself because you no longer seek permission to exist. Most people talk too much because they are insecure about their position. Ayanokoji speaks only when words increase leverage. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is pressure. When you stop reacting, people get uncomfortable. When you stop chasing, people notice. When you stop explaining, people start guessing. And uncertainty is power. But none of this works if your inner world is chaotic. That's why self-mastery comes first. You must build a mind that does not panic under pressure. A mind that does not collapse when things go wrong. A mind that does not need motivation to function. Ayanokoji doesn't rely on feelings. He relies on systems. He wakes up because that's the rule. He trains because that's the standard. He studies because that's the requirement. No emotion involved. Your problem is not that you lack potential. Your problem is that you live based on mood. Mood is unreliable. Discipline is permanent. You say, I'll start tomorrow. Ayanokoji starts immediately, not because he's excited, but because delay creates weakness. Every time you delay, you teach your mind that comfort is allowed to win. And your mind remembers that. That's why controlling yourself feels hard now. Because you trained yourself to quit. But here's the truth no one tells you. Self-mastery is painful at first. Then it becomes addictive. The first days feel heavy. The first weeks feel uncomfortable. The first months feel lonely. But then something changes. You stop craving distractions. You stop needing validation. You You stop feeling lost. Because when your mind is under control, direction becomes automatic. Ayanokoji doesn't chase confidence. Confidence is a side effect of competence. When you keep promises to yourself, self-respect grows. When you do hard things daily, fear shrinks. When you stay consistent, identity changes. You don't become confident by telling yourself you are strong. You become confident by proving it to yourself every single day. That's why Ayanokoji is calm, not because life is easy, but because he trusts himself under pressure. Can you trust yourself right now? If you say you'll study, do you actually study? If you say you'll train, do you actually train? If you say you'll change, do you actually change? Or do you lie to yourself daily and wonder why nothing improves? Self-mastery starts with brutal honesty. No excuses, no stories, just facts. If your results are weak, your discipline is weak. If your mind is scattered, your habits are scattered. If your life is chaotic, your inner world is chaotic. Fix the inside first. Ayanokoji understands leverage. And the greatest leverage is control over self. When you can sit alone without distraction, you become dangerous. When you can delay pleasure, you become unstoppable. When you can stay calm while others panic, you become dominant. The world rewards those who can endure discomfort without breaking. That's why softness is dangerous. Comfort weakens reflexes. Overthinking weakens action. Emotional attachment weakens judgment. Ayanokoji stays detached, not because he doesn't feel, but because feelings don't control his decisions. You don't need to become cold. You need to become clear. Clear about your goals, clear about your standards, clear about what you tolerate from yourself. Stop negotiating with your weaker self. That voice that says, just this once. That voice that says, you deserve rest. That voice that says it's not that serious. That voice is not your friend. Ayanokoji would silence it. Not with motivation, but with action. Action creates authority. Authority creates calm. The more you act, the less your mind argues. The more you delay, the louder the chaos becomes. So start small, but stay ruthless. Wake up on time, no exceptions. Train even when you don't feel like it. Study when it's boring. Stay quiet when ego wants attention. These small acts look insignificant, but together, they reprogram who you are. Self-mastery is not about becoming someone else. It's about removing everything weak that is not truly you. Under the laziness there is discipline. Under the fear there is strength. Under the confusion there is clarity, but only if you are willing to suffer now. Ayanokoji didn't become who he is by comfort. He became dangerous by control. And the moment you master yourself, something powerful happens. You stop feeling behind. You stop feeling inferior. You stop feeling lost. Because when your mind is disciplined, time works for you. Others waste years. You compound silently. Others seek attention. You build ability. Others talk about potential. You become proof. So ask yourself one final question. Do you want to feel good today? Or do you want to become someone unstoppable tomorrow? Because you can't have both. Master yourself. Silence the noise. Control the mind. And like Ayanokoji, let your results speak in a language no one can ignore.